You're sitting in your car outside the supermarket with tears streaming down your face, with your phone gripped so tight your knuckles are white, and you're reading a text that says, "You're too sensitive, no one will ever love you like I love you." And you're asking yourself, how did I get here? Let me take you back to the very first moment. You're at a friend's birthday party. The room is loud and full of laughter. There's clinking glasses, there's fairy lights strung across the ceiling, and then you feel it. There's someone watching you. You turn, he's standing by the bar with a drink in his hand, and his eyes are locked on yours like you're the only person in the entire world, and your stomach flips. 3 months later, you're deep in. You're texting all day, you're planning weekends, you're telling your best friend, "I think this is it." 3 years later, you're married with a baby on the way, a house and a garden. 5 years after that, you're sitting in your car outside the supermarket with tears streaming down your face, with your phone gripped so tight your knuckles are white, and you're reading a text that says, "You're too sensitive, no one will ever love you like I love you." And you're asking yourself, how did I get here? I'm Kelly and I'm a counsellor. And for many years I've sat across from women just like you, women who started with fireworks and ended up with ashes, fighting for their children in a court that doesn't see the truth. And today I'm going to walk you through the 7 stages of narcissistic abuse as the slow, creeping nightmare that I've witnessed in real lives. I'm going to describe the details, every gut-wrenching moment, so you can see yourself in the story and you can find the door to get out before you lose everything, including your kids. This is for the woman who's been told you're overreacting, you're imagining things. If you just tried harder, you'd be kind. You're not imagining, you're surviving. So let's start at the very beginning. In the first stage, stage 1 is love bombing. It's the fairy tale that feels too real. It always begins with magic. He doesn't just text you good morning, he sends a voice note at 6:47 a.m. with a low voice that's warm, saying, "I woke up thinking about your smile and I can't stop." By day 4, he's at your door with coffee exactly how you like it, with milk and 2 sugars even though you only mentioned it once. He remembers your childhood dog's name, your favourite song from 2008, the way you'll take your tea when you're stressed. And he says, "Never met anyone like you. You're different. You're special. And you're mine." And you believe him because it feels real. He plans dates, picnics at sunset, handwritten letters, surprise tickets to that band that you love. Your friends say he's perfect. Your mum says, "Hold on to this one." But here's what's really happening. He's studying you. Every insecurity that you share with him, he files it away. And every dream that you mention is mirrored back. And that's not love. That's data collection. The first red flag is the speed that he moves at. And if it feels like a movie, it's scripted. Stage 2 is idealization and future faking, the castle in the sky. Now he lifts you up. You're on a pedestal so high you can't see the ground. He says, "You're not like me exes. They were crazy, you're sane. We're going to buy a house with a garden for the kids. I've already pictured our wedding. You in that dress that you wore on our 3rd date." He talks about babies, holidays, growing old together. You start planning. You tell your boss you might relocate. You clear out your spare room for us and you introduce him to your dad. But the plans, they never materialise. The house viewing's cancelled. The holiday deposits forgot. The ring, oh, it's too soon. This is future faking, a narcotic of hope to keep you addicted. You don't see the trap because the high is too good. Stage 3, the first cracks, devaluation begins. It's subtle at first. You're laughing at a film, you made a joke, and he doesn't laugh. Just a flicker in his eyes like you've disappointed him. Then you're too loud, and you apologise. The next week, "Why do you always wear that top? It's unflattering." So you change. Then he says, "You're so emotional. My ex never cried this much." And you swallow it because the good days still exist. They become more rare because the good days still exist even though they're getting less often, but they're electric. So you start tiptoeing. You rehearse conversations in your head. You delete texts before he sees them. You think, "If I can just be better." That's the hook sinking in. Stage 4 is gaslighting and isolation, where the world shrinks. Now he rewrites your reality. You say to him, you shouted at me in front of the kids, and he says, I raised my voice because you were hysterical. You're remembering it wrong. You check your phone. The angry voicemail that he sent you, it's deleted. The bruise on your arm, oh, you walked into the drawer. Stop dramatising it. He tells your best friend she's been really unstable lately. She stops calling you. He says to you, your family stresses you out, let's keep distance. Your world ends up being him, only him. You start apologising for all this little things like breathing. Stage 5 is where the discard and hoover you up. The yo-yo of hell. So one Tuesday he's gone with a new woman on his arm. He's blocked you on social media. Your things are in bin bags. You're shattered. And then on Thursday night at 11 p.m, I made a mistake. You're my everything. Please, you let him back. The cycle restarts, but faster, crueler. Love bomb, devalue, discard. Again. Stage 6 is the trauma bond, and stage 7, total destruction. The trauma bond's where you're addicted to the crumbs. One kind word is ecstasy. You defend him to your sister. He's under stress and he doesn't really mean it. And stage 7 is panic attacks in the shower, where your hair's falling out. You're £20,000 in debt from keeping him happy. You lost custody of your children because a court report says mother appears emotionally unstable. One woman said, I looked in the mirror at 38 and I didn't recognise the corpse staring back. But let's rewrite section 7. How to escape. This is the lifeline. Step 1 is seeing the pattern. Write down a week of interactions and you'll see the cycle of what's happening. Step 2 is grey rock. So this is where you respond with no emotion. You just say, okay, I see. You starve the drama. You don't feed into it. Step 3 is where you reconnect with your old friend. You find your friends, you reconnect with them, you make new friends, you find a counsellor. Step 4 is where you're planning the exit. You save someone that he doesn't know about. You have the number for the domestic abuse hotline on your phone, and you have a list of safe houses. 5 is go and no contact. You block him on social media, you delete his number, and you grieve the illusion what you thought he was. So if you're watching this with your hands shaking and you recognise every stage, you're not broken, you're breaking free. I offer a free 20-minute consultation with no shame, just a map to get out. Go to kellyoliver.co.uk/counselling. Book now. I'll be there for you. You don't have to wait for stage 7. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. I just wanted to take a moment to speak directly to the women listening who might be struggling in silence. So maybe you're living with the fallout of a husband or partner who's suddenly decided he's a woman, leaving you feeling confused, coerced, or even pressured into things you never consented to. Maybe you're a mother with a daughter or a son who now says they're trans, and you're carrying the heartbreak of that loss without anyone around you really understanding. Or maybe you've been cancelled, silenced, or bullied in your workplace, in your family, or even online, and you're left questioning your reality, your confidence, and your sense of self. If any of that sounds familiar, I just want you to know that you're not alone, and you don't have to keep pushing through it on your own strength, because that's exactly why I offer counselling for women. It's a private, safe, and non-judgmental space where you can say the unsayable. And I know how hard it can be to put words to feelings of betrayal, grief, or anger, especially when the world around you just wants you to be quiet. In our sessions, you'll be heard, believed, and supported without judgment. My work is grounded in person-centred counselling, but I also bring in other tools like inner child work, trauma-informed approaches, and relational models to help you uncover what's really going on beneath the surface. Together we'll explore how the past is shaping the present, untangle the dynamics of coercive or narcissistic relationships, and give you space to grieve losses that others might dismiss or deny. The women that I work with often tell me that our sessions give them clarity, strength, and the ability to start making decisions that honour their own needs, sometimes for the first time in years. And so whether you're trying to rebuild after coercion, come to terms with ambiguous loss, or simply reconnect with who you are, therapy can be the place where you start to feel like yourself again. And I offer a free, no obligation consultation so that you can see if working together feels like the right fit. There's no pressure, just a chance to talk about what you need and how I might be able to help. You can find out more at kellyoliverdougall.co.uk. You deserve a space where you are truly heard, and if this speaks to you, I'd be honoured to walk alongside you on your journey of healing and strength.